Oh, this is the 17th of September 2018 at 12:15 p.m. Narcissism would have to be the dirtiest, slimiest little evil disease, mental illness I can imagine. There are probably dirtier, evil, sneakier ones. I just don't know. Okay, narcissism is my baby. It's the one I've spent 30 years living with and 5 years learning about and finding out. And it's attaching all the things that, it's great for me because I lived it. So when Sam Vatkin or others, talk about this, I go, yep, I can relate straight to it. I'm a fast learner because I've spent 30 years doing the groundwork. Now I'm just putting all the reasons to it. I had no idea what it was when I was going through it, but now I'm getting the theory. First I had the practical, now I'm getting the theory. The wrong way around. Okay, but it's tricky. Oh, it's a tricky little thing. I'll give you a clue, an example. Yesterday, for some reason, somebody said in comments something about I can't remember, but it got me to thinking about why do women blame men for their unhappiness? And I just thought, what would a woman do? This is me, okay? Why would a woman do that? And so I thought, use empathy. Try to get inside her headspace. So I sat down and I thought, have I ever blamed anybody else for my unhappiness? Have I actually said anything like that? And I went through all of this and I thought, no, I haven't done any of that. I mean, I felt good for a moment. I thought, oh, that's good. Yeah, at least I'm not blaming people for things that, false accusations. I thought that was kind of freeing for a bit. But I soon got back into, but why? What are they? Look, that was mid-afternoon, and then, I think Phil made a comment, and he was talking about, following up from the video I did yesterday. He was talking about how in Yorkshire, in the UK, police are asking members of the public for anybody they that might be making hate speech. Anybody they can keep an eye on. Do you know anybody that's saying things hateful about other people? And I thought, gee whiz, what the hell? So I looked into it a little bit further. Fair enough. They're about to enact a law. It's in the final stages of development, being enacted. It's a hate crime law. It's got one stage left to go, and it's enacted. Oh, okay. Yeah, so they want to sort of start off with a bang and make a bit of a splash about this, a bit of a news. Laws are this is what's happening. And then they can accuse a few people of get a bit of notoriety, get it out there that they're not going to put up with this hate anymore. And you don't even have to. They don't even have to prove hate. Now, if you go off on a rant and go, somebody says something to you online, if they say something to you and you call them any sort of name and offend them for what they are, based on race or sexuality or whatever, and you offend them for what they are, and it was just in the spur of the moment, often, I didn't mean anything by it, I don't hate them, it's just I was angry, having a bad day. Nah, bad luck. Nah, that's a hate crime. Yeah, you shouldn't have said that. Yeah, no, that's no more. That's not going to happen anymore. Nah. No, you'll be arrested. Probably re-education camp or a bit of jail time for you. And in comments as well, anywhere that's online, anywhere that where you're offending. I think within the UK, but eventually it'll be international. Anywhere where you're offending a person for a group for what they are. Yeah. If they're transgender or something like that. Yeah, anything like that. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I started thinking about that, and I started I just wandered off. I'd forgotten all about the original idea that I started off with. Is, what about, why do women blame us for our unhappiness? Because that was too hard, so I went on to something else. And stuff it. And this morning I woke up and I thought, oh my God, Father. It tricks me. Every time it just gets me. Gets me, just like a fool. And I thought, yeah. And I thought, yeah. And this is me with 30 years knowledge of narcissism, 5 years of theoretical training in it. Probably just vids, but yeah, 5 years of that. And it's still getting me. What's it going to do to a young guy? It's just going to play merry hell with you, man. You got no idea. Well, let me try and explain to you what I think. There's all sorts of, I watch some narcissism videos. God, they're almost apologising for it. And you'll notice in vid after vid that it's all about you, the victim. How you can react. How you can recover. How you should react, basically. What you should do. That is exactly how narcs think. Strangely enough. Yeah, you're reacting the wrong way to this. You should take it this way or that way. We'll just do this horrible thing to you, but you're taking it the wrong way. You should be taking it on the chin. Man up a little. You should be doing all this. Yeah, you should be doing. Yeah. You react to our mental illness this way. This is the correct way. This is how you do it. This is how you react to a mental illness. You're a victim. And don't think of yourself as a victim, because you're not a victim. We're the victims. But you should react this way. It's crazy. And that's part of it. That's projecting the craziness. And go and look at all the narc videos that tell you, they'll tell you, you can be strong and do this and do that and do something. Nobody actually attacks the mental illness itself. It's, look, this is where the problem is. Can we start doing things to remove it? And then the world will be a happier place. We don't have any problems understanding that, if you eat a pizza and had 3 litres of lemonade on top of that and a big tub of ice cream at the end of it, the chances are you keep doing that, you're going to end up with heart disease, and it's not a good thing. But they don't tell you how you should react after you've had a heart attack. Or after look, obese people should walk this way. No. They really, I don't know whether they still do it. They really say, no, obese people should get the weight off them. And yet they want to attack the people that are selling all this unhealthy food. That's what they do. That's sort of like, you're not good, you're not cool. Yes, your food is unhealthy. But not the case with narcissism. No. There is never any mention of that. There is no problem with the narcissist. It's you who have been, well, all of your comments. I just read them. And I just say, yep, narc, bite, narc, bite, narc. It's not the person, it's not the underlying person you hate, it's the disease. Because if people don't have the disease, you don't hate them, I can guarantee you. And if you hadn't come and fallen foul of narcs or, the other cluster B, complaints, borderline, etc. If you hadn't run foul of them, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be mgtow. You'd be living happily. You wouldn't waste your time watching video after video that's like, you'd be out living. But no, you've been bitten. Now look, if there was a woman's channel and they were talking about men's narcissism, they're bloody bar, yep, I'd say the same thing. But why don't they? They're talking about men, we're talking about women, and what we're really both talking about is narcissism. That's the truth of it. And if I'm offending narcissism for what it is, bad luck. Arrest me. Oh my God, Your Honour, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Now, you can just imagine the police, can't you? Well, it says here that you don't like narcissism. Well, I don't. Numbnuts. Don't be so rude, young fella. Narcissism is nothing wrong with narcissism. I think you deserve a bit of detention time. How about a few months in a re-education camp? Yeah, right. Fool. I mean, really, that's what it's all about. And we got men attacking women, women attacking men, and who gets away scot-free? The disease, the mental illness, the thing that's causing all the trouble. We don't have a problem with alcoholism, we can see that, we know that. Yeah, we know the signs, yeah, usually they've got alcohol. Not with narcissism, yeah, it's sneaky, it's tricky, and it's extremely, it's like alcoholism on steroids. And nobody even talks about it. Although they're starting to, I heard that Howard Dare's starting to talk a lot about it. People are starting to wake up and think, no, I think we're looking at the wrong thing here. And typically that's what happens with humans. We end up looking at the wrong thing. You know, we're looking at the people when we should be looking at the illness that they have. I first discovered that when I looked into the accounting system. You know, for years you sit there and you think, oh, this bloody... You know, this is such a hard way to record transactions. Why do they do such a, you know, why do they make it so hard to record transactions? What a silly thing. And then you realise, no, it's nothing about recording. You're focusing on the wrong thing. You should be focusing on the checking. And it's a very easy way to check. And a very easy, fast, reliable way to check all the business's transactions. And you go, oh my God, Father, it is too. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess to record it, but checking, it's just dead set simple. Bang, 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 bang. Check the whole lot, very accurate, very good, yep. And if you think about it, that's what a business wants, accurate financial records. Yeah, they don't want errors in them. Yeah. So yeah, they designed a very, very good system to make checking. And once you see that, once you understand that, it becomes very simple and you have no trouble with it. You just understand everything. But it's that one simple thing. Focus on the wrong thing, but everybody focus on the fact, what a difficult way to record a transaction, one after the next. And narcissism's the same thing. One after the next will say the people. You're all saying it. Oh, it's human nature, it's how people are. You know, it's just, yeah, that's how women are. And women will be saying, oh, that's how men are, that's how men are, that's how men are, yeah. Yeah, I'm guarantee you're all focusing on the wrong thing because you're looking at the people when you should be looking at the illness they've got. Don't believe me? Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about why I'm saying that. Now, let's say I could figure out a way to manipulate all you guys and make you watch my videos, one after the next. And if I could figure out even more ways to attract more and more, so that I'm getting millions and millions of views, I'm #1 for YouTube. How much money am I going to make? How rich and powerful am I going to be? How great's my life going to be? Now, my children, I don't talk to them. But if I did, you don't think I would pass on my little secret to them? You know, do you think I'd sit there and say, look, I've decided that, no, it's not good for you to have an easier life. And I've got, no, you will learn my little secret all by yourself. I've just spent 60 years developing it. And I'll die shortly, and it's only fair and only right that you do exactly the same thing. You struggle and, you know, live in, you know, poverty half your life or most of your life, like I've done, to, you know, to try, yeah. Yeah, I'd do that, sure I would, yeah. Oh, thanks, Daddy, that's really kind of you. Yeah, I can imagine myself doing that. Oh, they'd be the first ones I'd tell. And then they'd learn the tricks and modify them and that sort of thing. They'd have children. What, you don't think they'd tell them that they're kids as well? And hand it on from one generation to the next? Work up a family dynasty? You don't think that would happen? Think again. And that's how narcissism forms. At least that's how I reckon it forms. But typically with narcissism, it doesn't, for most of what you would be experiencing, people don't think in such a large scale. They wouldn't think in, how do I manipulate many people so that my family becomes rich, you know, and powerful. No, they wouldn't think that. They'd think, no, I'm just me, but I can manipulate maybe one person at a time or a small group of people. Now think about it. It didn't happen, you know, in this generation or even the generation before. It happened maybe 500 generations ago. That's where it started. 500 generations ago, maybe. Who knows? Thousands of years ago. So we look at today and we see everything around us today. And we think, yeah, we try and base it on that. But actually all of this started one woman to the next, particularly women. Because men are typically out there trying to forge their way in the world because we don't really have any secrets to help us. You know, my father didn't ever sit me down and say, oh, this is the way we do it. No. It's just, it sort of was left saying, well, you know, I didn't do too well. Good luck. But women are a little different in respect, or were, going back a long way, because there was no safety net. There was no any of it, what we had today. Now, a woman back then needed a man. And women got older. And women became boring to the men. And all sorts of things. You can imagine what happened. So the woman had to keep the man around. Back, you know, when they, even in the cave, I suppose. You know, it's just they had to come up with all sorts of little tricks, little ideas that would keep the man around. And they would, over the years, pass on their little tricks to the daughter. Of course they'd do that. They don't want to see the daughter left out, you know, in the cold, do they? So they'll tell their daughter what to do and how to do it. How do you get the man to do this? So if you do this and you do something else, how do you get, you know? And then the daughter would pass it on to her daughter and to her daughter and to her daughter, and it's you know, by the time it's reached us, it's just really highly developed, and we can't understand it because I don't need any of it anymore. But it's something that's long gone. But in my quest to find out why we make women unhappy, I was reading an article about a woman who was talking about how women, poor things, are coping with the remnants of the patriarchy. And we all we look at it and think, what patriarchy? What are you talking about? See, even there, they're tricking us. But they're also giving us a clue as to what they really mean. What they really mean, and this is the whole thing about narcissism, that I forget, even me, 30 years experience, 5 years of theoretical training, even I forget it every day of the week. They will blame you for what they have done themselves. See? In this article, the woman says, yes, we're struggling with the remnants of the patriarchy. No, they're not. They're actually struggling with the remnants of the narcissism. You know, 500 generations of women, one to the next. How do you get the man to stick around and keep supplying, you know, the income and the resources, you know, when you're no longer young and beautiful? You know, you're just a grumpy old shit of a, you know, and he doesn't want to be there. He'd rather be with the other young and beautiful, you know, woman down the other end of things. So how do you keep him around? That's actually what women are struggling with. And I can well understand they would, because they've got all of this, they don't need it anymore. It's a weapon of the weak mind. Weapon of the weak, I call it, not weapon of the week as in days, you know, weapon of the weak. How do you manipulate a man? Not today, no, 500 years ago. Think about it. How would they have done it? Even before religion. I think, you know, maybe the church was there to control men. I have no idea. 1,000 years ago, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, go back far enough. At some point, you'll say, you'll be agreeing, yeah, okay, I can imagine that would happen. But that's what they're dealing with, and that's what we have to cope with. We always had to cope with it. But now it just makes no sense whatsoever. It's not like, one guy can say to the other, well, she's trying to hold you around, she's, doing this to you and doing that to you. No, she doesn't even need to. And this, it's so, you call it human nature. Well, I suppose, yeah, you could say it is, but it's narcissism. It's deceptive. There's lying, it's cheating, it's their way of doing it. I mean, if we'd always had a social safety net, well, they wouldn't have needed to have done it. So they wouldn't have cared, wouldn't have developed all these skills. So it wouldn't be in them. But that's what it is. That's what we're dealing with. But they will tell you that, no, you're the problem. Because we have to deal with it's because of your patriarchal attitude that we have suffered. It's not. We've never had a patriarchal system. We all struggle trying to get through. We all worry about. We're a new generation. Every time. It's nobody saying, "Oh, look, it's easy." You do this and do that and do something else. No, we get clobbered every time. We start on a job, we get clobbered. We everything we get clobbered, we get clobbered. There's no. Women have a much easier time of it than us. No, we just get clobbered. But it's the same thing for every generation. Because we can't say, oh, you do this and do that. So, no, you're on your own, basically. Unless you're a narc. But the narc will have all these ideas and schemes of how you get the upper hand on your fellow man, and you get on top of him. Or she, he or she, doesn't matter. And that's inbuilt into them, and they'll come out. So when they say you're the reason for my unhappiness, when you get out of the cobweb and you get this cobweb off me, you think, no, hang on a bit, I was the one that was unhappy, because if I look at myself now, I'm actually happier. I think I could be happier still, but compared to where I was, no, I was actually the one that was unhappy. And you're blaming me for, huh? And that's when the penny dropped. I thought, it's fooled me again. It's bloody tricked me again. It's just the most tricky, devious, nastiest thing. Because what is really happening is, you're the one that made me unhappy. And I suspect what happens, it's a tragedy, really. Because when a girl meets a guy and that sort of thing, and she genuinely wants him to be happy, let's not do it the way my parents did it. Let's do some, So he's a happy young guy and that sort of thing. But because of all of this societal makeup, because of what's inside her, that's been handed down from one to the next, to the next, to the next. By the time it gets to her, it's a copy of 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 a copy. It's looking pretty ratty around the edges. Okay, there's nothing fresh about it anymore. It's just natural. It'll come out eventually. Because let's face it, by the time she married you, she's probably already had 25 years or 20 years or something of input from her mother, who's, made sure it's blueprinted on her. Not that her mother even knew it, but she would have been doing, you do this, do that, and it would have seen enough over that 25-year period that, she's pretty well trained by the time she hits you. And for a while she holds off, and let's be happy, and it's all smiling, but at the time, it comes out. And of course your face starts to get, more and more sullen, more and more upset. You put on weight, you're less happy. It's obvious to her, it's obvious to everybody else that you're miserable. And she can't bring herself to, and she doesn't even know why. She can't possibly be her. She's doing everything to make you happy. So it's clearly your fault. It's you did it. It's your fault. It has to be your fault. It's not mine. So who else's fault is it? It's not my fault that this happened. It's you. So she stands there and watches you just get become more and more miserable, and openly looking unhappy. So it has to be your fault. It's this whole projection thing. But that's actually within her. She didn't ever need to do it. All these things that she's talking about, that have been started probably, God, I don't know, how long have humans been around? 50,000 years? I don't know. Yeah, probably started shortly after that. You know, at first it wouldn't have been so bad because they were, you know, young, they all died young, but as, you know, particularly as people got older and old age became a thing, yeah, no, they had to keep people around and they had to do every dirty, nasty, horrible trick to do so. So that's there, and that's what you copy. Yep, that's where it's all coming from. And so you're sitting there thinking, oh no, it's human nature, and you're not addressing what it is. And so when you read comments like that, yeah, it's the poor women are dealing with the remnants of this patriarchy that we all know didn't exist, or it may have done. You know, back in England or in America, a couple of hundred years ago, you know, that could well have done. It's just so what? What would that have to do with today's modern women? You know, how would that be reacting? Is it coming out of us men, us guys? Are we reacting like, you know, walking around the bowler hat and no, not at all. We're just normal, just average sort of people. It's not us. The narcissism is coming from women who have used it for years and no longer need it, but it's still there. And that's what is causing, part of what's causing a lot of trouble. But the thing is, it will trick you. It tricks me every time. And it will drive you mad. Narcissism will drive you mad. Narcissism is insane. It's horrible, like a witch. That's come from thousands of years ago. Oh, it's clever, old, cunning. It's not new, fresh, vibrant, alive, and no, it's old and nasty. That's what it is. Yeah, it's old. Just think of an old hag that's trying to hold on to her husband and just doesn't want to be with her anymore. How nasty and cruel is she going to be? How much is she going to you've done this to me, you? And she will hold the man in guilt. Why? Because she needs him. Not today. She doesn't need to do it. He can go. She's going to be all right. But 1,000 years ago, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago, yeah, she needed him around. She would have done anything and everything to hold him. Diane would have become very clever and nasty and scheming. Yeah, that's narcissism. That's what it is. Handed from one to the next. And that's what they're dealing with, the remnants of that. And it's still strong. Probably will be for another 500 years. And we're just copying it with no idea, no understanding, because we're looking at here and now, not the history of the thing, not where this could possibly have come from. Oh yeah, it all happens with children under the age of 3. That's what you hear on the yeah. It's a childhood thing, a load of rubbish. Yeah, it's possibly a part of it. Yeah, it might contribute to something to it. But you're trying to tell me that 40,000 years of human evolution and human history doesn't have some bearing on what happens to us today? Yeah, I believe that. Anyway, look, it's something to think about, but that's what it is. If you ask me, narcissism or one of the cluster B type personality disorders. Yeah, they're all the same. I reckon anyway. Anyway, good talking to you, and I'll talk to you again shortly. Bye.